Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared. How's everybody doing tonight? Sorry, Wallaby doesn't feel too good, so he's getting some rest. One of our moderators, but we got Q1 feeding in the house, and I'm sure he can handle it as long as our buddy from last week doesn't pop in. That guy was ridiculous last week. But hopefully we don't have any of those problems tonight. Seems Logical says he recommended Breeze a knife not too long ago, the CJRB Tala. Not saying it will come out unscathed, but I think it will hold up. Yeah, that knife looks pretty solid. I've never tried one of those. What do they call that lock? I don't even remember, but that lock that they use. It's basically like an access lock, but who MC? Yeah, last time when MC was in here, yeah. He ain't gonna show up. He's too scared. He's too scared. He saw my video for sure. I sent it to him. But so we got a few knife topics. I didn't write down a lot. I've had a long few days, but I do got some topics I want to talk about. And one of them, and we'll get to it here in a little bit, is well-rounded knives. We have a few other things, but what's up, Breeze? If you guys, I don't know if you guys seen it, but you guys know the brand, what is it, Tactile? That new, I don't know if they're new. What's up, Screaming Pirate? Well, Tactile has a new chef knife. It looks pretty sweet in 14C 28N steel. I thought that looked pretty cool. I seen it at, well, I didn't go to Blade Show, but I seen it on a clip from Blade Show. What's up, Ed? Yes, I did get the box, and what a box. Lots of great knives in there. That, what the hell's the name of it? That big one, man. That big one's awesome. That thing's pretty sweet. I can see why so many people like it. It's such a good knife. But yeah, that chef knife though, great steal for a chef knife. I didn't hear the price that they're coming in at, but definitely very interested in that. And so far, it seems like everybody that's tried the Tactile knives, yes, the Max Ace Goliath, it's a beast. I hope that they come out with a medium-sized one. Because that thing, I mean, it's a badass knife, but it's not an everyday knife. You know, that's definitely a beast of a knife, which is cool. I love it the way it is, but that'd be cool if they came out with a small version, which was just like a regular size knife. The mini version would be just a regular knife, but that would be sweet. Same thing, just a medium size. But the Tactile company, everybody who's checked out their knives so far has really liked them. So I imagine the chef knife is cool, but the other Tactile knives I've seen on people's channels, it's always that one. It's that liner lock knife. Now, looking at it, it looks so basic and plain, but everybody's reaction to it when they open it and everything, it's always positive. So it seems like it'd be a knife that everybody would like. I'm carrying the Concept Helix today. It's a big one too. Yeah, the Helix is the designer of that knife designs big knives. Like that's what he does. And yeah, the Helix is a good knife though. We had the titanium version. We gave to Hawaii Knife and Gear. Great knife. And that Tonto that it has, it's almost like not even a Tonto, but it is still a Tonto, but it is so easy to turn into a drop point. All you have to do is literally treat it like a drop point when you're sharpening it, exactly how you would sharpen a drop point, and it will turn into a drop point. Oh, you got the small and cozy today. That's awesome. Yeah, they make a good Tonto too. So Bradford Knives, Chef Knives, and AEBL is very nice. Yeah, well, it'd be, if you think about it, it's the same thing because AEBL is very similar to 14C. Very similar. Carrying a pair of 3 and a Civivi Elementum fixed blade. That's one I haven't tried, is that Elementum fixed blade. I need to get my hands on one of those. I got the new stainless version. New stainless Knox. It's pretty sweet. It still reminds me. It's, you know, actually I got it on me right now. It still reminds me of the Kite Fin. They're very similar. So it's kind of like a budget version of the Kite Fin. But I love how simple and how clean it looks. Did you guys hear? I actually heard it from I heard it from Lacey Marie that somebody snagged some knives from Civivi at the Blade Show. They're 2 prototypes of Banter's I don't know what he's naming it. I'm guessing it's just the Banter 2 or something. Did you guys hear that? You know why? You know why that happened? You guys know. Because they didn't bring old Neeves Knives there to watch their booth. What can I say? If I would have been there, that shit wouldn't have happened. Yeah, Ben Peterson's Mr. Ben Banter's his new little prototype, I guess 2 of them, or both of them, I should say, got stolen right from their table, which I'm sure happens quite often at those places. I know I've been to, I'm not going to say places like that, but similar like events, and there's always shit getting taken and stolen and snagged and grabbed. Oh, just got a Shuro F3NS in black carbon fiber. Amazing action. The marbled carbon fiber handle is amazing. That's sweet. Yeah, those the Shuros are definitely amazing. I love my Shuros. Got a couple pretty close to here. I'd really like to try a Shuro in my Carta. And Talica sent me a link to a guy, he's getting some micarta, some frag patterned micarta. So I guess micarta similar to this, but for his hinder. And I was looking at dude's page, and he's got, there's Lacey Marie right there, and he's got some cross-cut micarta scales, or at least he makes them for the Parrot 2. And I was thinking, man, I'd like to get me some of those. I like my micarta scales on my Parrot 2, but they're not cross-cut. I'd love to get a set of those. Some cross-cut micarta. Okay. So, did you guys happen to see? Hey, Zach! Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. Micarta. So, cough up my throat. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate the donation, man. You're awesome. So, did you guys see Cedric and Ada, Pete's test on the S390? No, they definitely wouldn't have. I'd have fucked them up. I'd have been chasing down them 12-year-olds and wringing their necks. I'm just guessing they were kids, but who knows? You know, I bet you. Why wouldn't an adult, right? I mean, but that's what happens when you turn Neeves Knives down from coming. The old security killer test, he was beat afterwards. Yeah, but you know, he took the knife and wrapped paracord around the handle, which I'll be honest, I've never ever liked that. I saw Knife Center has some Magna Cut fixed blades, so it's considering picking one up. That's awesome. That's badass. I know Cedric and Ada said that The makeup of S390 is very similar to Maximet, which sounds pretty sweet. But the knife, you know, wrapping the handle with paracord, I had it it was like one of those tactical axes back in the day, you know, where it has a spike on one side and an axe on the other. And it was skeleton and it had paracord wrapped around the handle. Man, I tried to chop with that thing one time. Fuck that. You guys ever hit something with a baseball bat, like a tree with a metal baseball bat, and the ringing just goes down it and hurts your hand so bad you don't want to do it again? It was like that, except for like 5 times worse. You know, like I felt the metal in my hand. I never really understood those knives after that. Like, even I guess if you get a skeleton, like a little fixed blade, and you wrap the handle, you know, you're not doing crazy shit with it. But any type of chopper or anything you're actually going to be doing impact with, man, put a handle on it. What's up, Talica? We were talking about you a second ago. So yeah, I can't anything like that. But I understand why, you know, that was a knife that would have scales on it. It probably just didn't yet. Dude probably just you know, because I think it came from Triple B. Triple B probably just, you know, made it. Hey, Bees Blades, thanks, man. Hit that like button. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for the donation. Go give Knife Sergeant a few more subs. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Fiend. So, knives. So, I seen, you know, I watch other channels, you know, and I try not to go too crazy with other channels because I don't like to be inspired by too many channels. But, I was watching somebody compare a newer phosphor bronze knife to a knife on bearings. Now, with a knife that's on phosphor bronze, some of them don't get incredibly smooth over time, but they all get smooth, and some of them get ridiculously smooth over time. And if you buy one and it's new and it's smooth from the factory, you can guarantee over time it is going to get like ridiculously smooth. Like I have some that are like fall shut action because they're just so broken in, and it takes the detent to break in and the washers basically to almost polish themselves, you know, which sometimes are like the best knives. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's a knife that kind of ages with you, right? The more you have it and the longer you have it, the better it gets, rather than you get it and then it just gets worse over time and it gets better over time. Kind of like, you know, Medford. Medford was saying, I seen a video from Blade Show. He was talking about how his knives never have play. And he says, if you ever feel play out of any of his knives, it's because you took it apart and dicked around with it. I'm not saying that's true, but I am saying that his knives are extremely solid. Like side to side, I've personally never felt even a hint of play out of his knives. And he was saying that when he makes his knives, he likes to make them similar to basically like having a fixed blade. Like you'd rather have a fixed blade, but if you can't have a fixed blade, then, you know, a folder is the next best option, but you need it to feel like a fixed blade and perform like a fixed blade. No play, nothing like that. Well, with his knives, sometimes they come tight, right? Like very tight. But the more you use them, the more you open and close them, the smoother they get. Now, he described in another video one time that he cranks down the pivot and he puts Loctite in it, but he cranks down the pivot so that over time, the pivot will spin a little bit and it'll loosen up, but not to the point to where it gets any play. So if you have it for 10 years or whatever, it still won't have play after 10 years. Now, Like, and I'm not trying to throw this knife under the bus or anything like that. This happens with a lot of knives. I'm just using this knife as an example. When I got this knife, right, I flicked it 10, 15 times. It was already loose. It had play. It has play now. And I had to take it up. Well, I didn't take it all the way apart, but I took the pivot out and I put some Loctite on it. And I obviously started playing with it before it's sealed. So what I'm going to have to do is take the pivot back out, put some Loctite on it, and let it cure. Probably take 24 to 48 hours to cure. Sometimes I rush it, and that's what happened with this. And I'm sure it'll be fine after I let the stuff cure. But you see how it didn't take long, and now I've already got to mess with it, right? So some knives with phosphor bronze, they do take time to break in, but once they do, they are ridiculously smooth, like wet glass smooth or oiled glass smooth. Now you can't compare them to bearings. It's two different things, and there's a difference between. I wish we would come up with a name for it, to be honest, because smooth to me, when I hear smooth, right, or I hear that glassy smoothness, I think of washers. I never, ever, ever think of bearings. It's just in my head the way it happens. Now, before I really felt like certain knives, right? Like a Sebenza. People would say, oh, Sebenza smooth. It's Sebenza smooth. Well, I never felt a Sebenza, so I always just, thought of it as like bearings, right? It's as smooth as bearings. And now I realize it's two different worlds. Like it's apples to oranges. It's two different things. Bearing smooth is like rolling smooth. It's like fall shut, drop shutty. And not saying that phosphor bronze can't be fall shutty, because I mean, obviously, where is, you guys got a free bell. You're lucky. Obviously, phosphor bronze can get extremely smooth, right? But it's different. It's a different level of smoothness. It's a tight, oiled glass type of feel, right? Bearings is more of a rolling type of action, where it's like, it's just two different. So to compare a knife with bearings to a knife with phosphor bronze, you can't. You just can't, especially when you're talking about smoothness. It's just two different worlds, But when you get a knife that is on phosphor bronze and it breaks in, now you're talking about the type of smoothness it should have, or it's going to have, or whatever. And in that case, it's way more enjoyable than a knife that is newer, right? And like I said, some of the best knives I've ever had were knives that broke in, were knives that were once, I'm not going to say stiff, but after time of having them and appreciating them and using them and flicking them and folding them and them getting smooth over time, I really appreciate them a little bit more, because it's like, one, it aged with me, and two, it's just gotten better and better, and you really appreciate it, and it's still rock solid. What's up, John Evans? Yeah, I do got coffee today, and I got the best damn coffee you guys ever seen. You guys don't know. Oh yeah, it's delicious. Where'd it go? Anyone intrigued by Lion Steel Best Man? One clip part my M390 carbon fiber pristine, but is I can only take Venmo presently. Sorry, blue banter. Man, you said a lot there. I find no oiling a brand new knife and flicking it dry for a day or two helps a ton with smoothing out the action, both washers and bearings. This works. So I agree and disagree. So I don't mind leaving the pivot or bearings or washers undone, but I do like to get the detent ball because, like, say even like a knife like this, right? This knife, after I got it, it was very smooth, but it got stiff really quick, and all it was the detent ball was dry. Once that detent ball got a little Earl on her, oh man, like she wouldn't even drop, like she was like stiff. But it just needed a little Earl. Now, man, I can't believe how easy this knife is to reverse flick off the side. I'm not left-handed. This is my right hand. This is my left hand. And look how easy that thing is to flick. What's a Rockstead? How much for the Elementum? I do. Okay, so I am going to talk about a knife sale towards the end of this. I do have to have a knife sale. I'll explain towards the end. I don't want to bum anybody out right now in the beginning. So, but there's the Rocky. If anyone is curious about, okay, there you go. No more Rockstead. Now you have to show the Goliath. Yeah, we should show the Goliath. You got me dropping shit, Ed. Oh, Mr. Goliath. Mr. Goliath. Let's pull it out. This thing is pretty damn sweet. Move this right here. Move this right here. I seen Kyle's Red Wolf EDC. Is that Red Wolf EDC? He's got the one with the Timascus pivot or Timascus bolsters. Very sweet. It's got like the pink and gray. You know, my favorite type, I don't know the name of it, but the Timascus that has the gray and the blue. Oh, I love that. That is so sweet. And look at this. Ooh, I can reverse flick it. This thing's a beast, man. This thing's got the geometry to be a cutter and a hard use knife all in one. Because it's nice and thin behind the edge. I mean, a lot thinner than you would think. I bet you it's 15 thousandths behind the edge. Maybe 18 at the most. I doubt it's even 18. It's thin behind the edge. It's thinner than a PM2. And a PM2's 20. Oh, far thinner. I bet you it's 15 thousandths behind the edge. That's sweet. Yeah, the two-tone is really nice. I hope it's for his new wheels. It's not. It's not. I'll talk about it towards the end. Kind of a bummer thing, but you know, life. So I haven't regretted it yet. It should be here tomorrow, I think. I got the Demco AD 20.5 coming that I had somebody pick up for me in Blade Show. Now, I might be regretting getting the Shark's Foot. And I say that because I'm going to do a regrind on it. And I want to really bad. And I want to do a hollow grind on it. I've seen some with hollow grinds. It looks sweet to me. Now, I'm thinking that the regular, where is it? The regular version, even though I already have the regular version, right? I already have the Demco 8020, thanks to Mr. Amazing, with the clip point. But I think the clip point with the hollow grind might be better than with the Shark's Foot. Now, I'm not jumping ahead of myself. I'm sure the Shark's Foot is badass. I'm sure it is. I haven't tried it, so I could get it and be like, oh man, I'm so happy I got the Shark's Foot. But just thinking about it right now, like when I had the choice, the dude was like, which one do you want? Which one do you want? I did a spur of the moment, like just give me the Shark's Foot, right? I had the choice between both of them. And I wanted the clip point, but I thought about it, like I already got the clip point. Why would you get the clip point when you could get the Shark's Foot and have both? So maybe it is a good thing, but I'm just thinking about it with the hollow grind. And I'm thinking about how useful this blade shape already is. The tip is a good distance down Great for utility cuts. Has a perfect amount of belly, not too much, not too little. Perfect amount of flat. This is a fantastic blade shape, especially for as an all-around EDC blade shape. That's great. A lot of clip points, Persian up, right? And I don't like those. I do not like those. What's up, Tyler? What's up, boss? We'll see. You know, maybe after the hollow grind with the shark's foot, it might be so much better that I'll just love it. Hey there's about 20 of you that just don't care about Jared's feeling. Thank you, Russ. Yes, if you guys wouldn't mind, you guys want to support knife channels, support mine by dropping me a like. We're trying to get to 10K, and it's definitely one of my goals, and I think everybody should have goals, and I would definitely appreciate you helping me with one of mine. Everybody's got to have goals. It's a big goal, but hey, I like big goals. But yeah, I appreciate if you drop a like, at least on your way out. And if you're watching this later, look down at the like button. Give it a little tap. So I do have the internet pulled up. No, I didn't do it by myself, assholes. I did have some help before you guys came in from my lovely wife, Kara. Yeah, I bought my Grail knife and I bought the Shuro Quantum in brown. Or bronze, sorry. That's amazing. The Quantum's really nice. I love the bigger ones like the Quantum, the F3, the F9s. Love them. Great knives. I do think, however, because I have tried the Neon, the Haitian, fantastic knives, but I think the bigger ones represent, and this is just my biased opinion, I think they represent Shuro Goroff a little bit better than the smaller ones. Hey! What's up? Thank you, Scooter. You're awesome, man. I appreciate the donation. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate all donations. Hell, especially right now, let me tell you. Oh, man, I gotta drop that down. Keep it up, lifting the weights. I like it. Thank you. Only 6 of you left to hit that like button. Only 6 people left. Let me hit one. Bang! I just gave myself a like. You see that? So I have some steel charts, excuse me, on this other thing once I go like this. Bam! You see that? That's M390. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over here, and we're going to go down to 154 cm. You see these steels? Now see the chart. Let's take a look at the chart really quick. So you'll notice the top is edge retention. The left side's ease of sharpening. The right side's toughness. The bottom is corrosion. Okay. So we're going to go down to, we're going to go to 154 cm. Oh, there we go. There's CPM 154, which is the same thing as 154 cm. I think the only difference is and I'm not positive on this, but I think the edge retention is 5 out of 10. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, let's look at this. Edge retention, 6 out of 10. Ease of sharpening, 5 out of 10. Corrosion resistance, 5 out of 10. 4 out of 10 for toughness. A very well-rounded steel, right? You can look at the middle. You see how it's got the cross in the middle, and you got like almost a perfect diamond, right? A very well-rounded steel. Similar. Oh, here's 154 cm right here. Yeah, I knew it. 5 out of 10. So it's 5 out of 10 for edge retention. I don't know, to be honest, but I personally never. I mean, could you really notice that much difference in edge retention? I don't know, but we got 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10, and 4 out of 10 in toughness. Very well rounded. Now, a steel that's very similar to this is 3V. The only difference is the toughness, I think, on 3V is 10 out of 10. Now let's scroll down. Oh, we got 3V right here. Okay, so the edge retention is a little bit better too. 7 out of 10. We got 5 out of 10 up here. 7 out of 10 for edge retention on 3V. And the corrosion resistance. Now, I'll be honest. I thought 3V was worse than this for corrosion resistance. And I never knew that 154 CM was so bad. I thought it was, I'm not saying 5 out of 10 is bad. It's obviously right in the middle. Not great, not bad. Mr. Met, did we get a donation? I can't see it yet, so hang on 1 second. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Met. I appreciate that. Let me go back to here. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the donation. Let's go down to 4V. I was 4V better than 3V. So we got 8 out of 10 edge retention. What was it? 7 out of 10 for 3. Yep, 7 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for toughness. So it's a little less tough than 3V. And then the same for ease of sharpening and corrosion resistance. I'll be honest, I thought the corrosion resistance was worse on the 3Vs and 4Vs. Now, S30V. 7 out of 10 for corrosion resistance. 5 out of 10 for ease of sharpening. 8 out of 10 for edge retention, but it's not tough at all. 5 out of 10. Toughness. So, in my opinion, this is and this is just my opinion, this is a little more well-rounded to me, in my opinion. Because the diamond, I don't know, maybe it seems more perfect to me. I like it. S35. We got 5 out of 10 for ease of sharpening, 8 out of 10 for edge retention. Wasn't it the same up here? 8 out of 10, yeah. And 6 out of 10 for toughness, so it's a little tougher. 7 out of 10 for corrosion resistance. So just a little bit tougher than S35 or than S30V. Now, in my opinion, and I didn't think it was just my opinion, but looking at this chart, and I'll be honest, guys, I don't know how much I trust this chart, and I'll tell you why. Is because I've seen it putting Sandvik steel in budget steels, but putting 154 CM, N690, and one other steel in mid-grade steels, but put Sandvik steels in budget. How are you going to put N690? I know it's very similar to 154 CM, so I don't know. Me personally, I like 14C better than 154 CM, but that's my own biased opinion. And I think S30V gets better edge retention than S35VN. I absolutely do. In this one, it's saying they're the same, or at least that's the score they got. Cts Xhp Corrosion Resistance. Now listen, guys. Looking at this chart, Cts Xhp, I'll be honest, Cts Xhp does not get good corrosion resistance. I need to take this thing off. So, yeah, it's Blade HQ's thing. So, I don't think 6 out of 10 is good and is low enough for CTS XHP. I've seen CTS XHP show corrosion many times. I even seen it on the buoy before with the type of finish it has, which the type of finish the slush buoy has, it's very easy to keep corrosion away. CTS XHP is just, you got to be careful with it. You do. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying take care of it. LC200N. Now look at its corrosion resistance. 9 out of 10. You would think that'd be 10 out of 10, right? Toughness 5 out of 10. Ease of sharpening 6 out of 10. Edge retention 6 out of 10. Okay. I can see all that. I personally would give it 5 out of 10 for edge retention, but that's just me. The corrosion resistance, you would think it'd be 10 out of 10. My favorite knife in terms of fidgetability is my ZT 0452 still. Yeah, the 0452 is amazing. I always think of the 0452. Or no, I'm thinking the 0562. Never mind. 1095. What else we got? A2, D2. Let's look at D2. Edge retention, 7 out of 10. Guys, 7 out of 10. Ease of sharpening, 3 out of 10. Toughness, 6 out of 10. Corrosion resistance, 4 out of 10. Now, what do you guys think the problem with this is? I know you guys know. What's the problem with this? The problem I see is the edge retention. 7 out of 10. Think about that. They're putting it in the same category as S30V, which, okay, so they're basing it on its best, right? Its best standards. With its best standards, I agree. This is correct. Problem is when do we ever see its best? Right? So looking at this scale, you would think, okay, when I buy D2 steel or D2 knives from Blade HQ, it's going to look like this. It's going to perform like this. It will not. It will not. Have we seen one cut test yet where D2 has matched S30V cut tests? I don't think we have. Maybe I just didn't see it. But D2 usually performs a lot like 9CR, right? Because of the heat treatments, because they're not heat treated to what D2 standards should be. But in S30V's best, it's probably higher than a 7, right? You know, I don't think so, Tyler, because and the reason why I don't think so is because S30V is easy to heat treat. Well, I'm not going to say easy. I'm not a heat treater, but what I mean is, okay, the reason why D2 is always bad, and I'm going to put myself back on and we'll come back out. The reason why it's so bad is because the range of which they have to heat treat it. So, like say M390 or D2, they have a certain degree, right? So I think it's, and I'm not 100%, so don't quote me on this, but I think it's within 50 degrees that the temperature has to be for the optimal heat treat on M390, within 50 degrees. So now think about it. If you have a giant heat treater, right? Can you be sure that out of 100 knives in a heat treat machine that they're all going to be within 50 degrees of the temperature that's optimal? You probably can't, right? The knife in the middle will probably be okay. The knife over in the corner, maybe not. So that's why you wind up getting M390 or D2 where they're all different, right? It's like you'll get 2 knives, the same company, same knife, and they will have opposite edge retention tests. So Scooter says, I don't like chippy steels. Well, one thing is that, and this is to everybody, right? Don't base your knife or that steel off of the first couple sharpenings or the factory edge. A factory edge, I would say about half the time, is going to be chippy because of a burnt edge. It has fatigued steel. It has burnt steel on it. Burnt steel, it's brittle. So you're going to want to sharpen it up pretty good. Remove a decent amount of steel. Not a decent, but, sharpen it up once or twice. Get yourself into some good quality steel. Then base that steel on whether or not it's chippy or not, or that heat treat that blade. The scores are based on how the community views a steel more than the actual truth about it, with all sorts of relative allowances that introduce mistakes. The base problem is the numerical scoring. 100%, James. I absolutely agree. Has anyone owned Beg? Any good? I haven't, but I think Knife Sergeant has. Knife Sergeant, you've had a Todd Beg, right? I might be wrong, but I thought you've had one. I could be wrong. Bulldog EDC, what's up, bud? Okay, so let's go back to the steel chart really quick and take a look at it. I gotta hit this and hit this. Sorry guys, I'm not good at this. Okay. So now with D2, I personally think this edge retention is a little out of line. I do think that in a custom heat treat, and I say this all the time, guys, with a custom heat treat, this is what you're looking at. So on a let's say a Medford, right? A Medford's D2, and they're not even using regular D2, they're using CPM D2, which is a powdered form of D2. So it's gonna get this or better, right? Now, a custom heat treat will get this. Our factory knives will almost never see that type of edge retention. We're looking at more like 5 out of 10. That's what I would think. You know, maybe a little, give or take. H1, look at that. H1, 2 out of 10. H1's junk. But the corrosion resistance, that's the old Spyderco Salt edition knives. Okay, let's keep going down. Let's try to find N690. N690. Okay. Edge retention, 5 out of 10. Ease of sharpening, 6 out of 10. I personally think it'd still be a 5 out of 10. N690 is so easy to sharpen. To me, it's just as easy as 14C. Its toughness is low, 4 out of 10. And its corrosion resistance is really good, 7 out of 10. That's really good. So above average, far above average. The edge retention, 5 out of 10. Yeah, that seems pretty good, I guess. I just think the ease of sharpening should go down. VG10. Okay, VG10 to me similar to AUS 10. What was that other steel? Nitro. Was it Nitro V? Anyways, 5 out of 10. 6 out of 10, 4 out of 10, and 7 out of 10 for corrosion resistance. Very corrosion resistance. 5 out of 10 for edge retention. 6 out of 10 for ease of sharpening. 4 out of 10 for toughness. To me, this is a really good rounded steel. Very, very good for EDC because you don't need the toughness for EDC usually. Now, don't get me wrong. If we're talking about a hard use knife, obviously, you know, that we're talking different. Now, VG10 does really good for a chef knife. And think about how tough you are on a chef knife. And it does very good. So 4 out of 10 is just, it's below average, right? So it's not going to be the toughest steel in the world, but it's not that it's going to be very weak, especially if you're not using it as a chopper. And I've seen a lot of chef knives that get cleaved and everything else, and they're just fine. So, all right, so here's the 440s, 420s, HCs, and Cs, etc. 4 out of 10 for edge retention, 6 out of 10 for sharpening. What were they smoking? 6 out of 10 for sharpening. You know how easy 440C is to sharpen? And that's going to be the best out of them is the 440C. 440C, this should be 4 out of 10. Absolutely. Toughness, 5 out of 10. I agree with that. Corrosion resistance, 4 out of 10. Yeah. But edge retention, 4 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say because 440C, guys, it's a damn good steel. Don't ever sleep on 440C, especially if it has a good heat treat. And 6 out of 10, no, they're out of line. AUS 8. 3. Okay. So AUS 8. Now, this would make sense because 440C was 4 out of 10, right? AUS 8 is going to be a little less than 440C. 440C is going to be closer to a 9 CR. So 3 out of 10 for edge retention. Ease of sharpening, 8 out of 10. What? What are we talking about? All right, this is a little crazy now. 8 out of 10 for sharpening? I expect that for S90V. And you're saying AUS 8 has an 8 out of 10 for sharp? They're smoking some. 4 out of 10 for toughness, 4 out of 10 for corrosion resistance. I accept all that, but damn it, if the ease, they're making. All right, we're going to go back up to the top here in a second, guys, and we're going to look at what S90V says or N390. CTS BD1. I think Spyderco uses the BD1N. Am I correct, guys? I think so. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Is the ease of sharpening saying that the higher, the easier? Or the lower, the easier? Maybe I'm smoking something. It's ease of sharpening. So they're saying, oh, okay, okay. So I was thinking the higher the number, the harder it is to sharpen. So maybe I'm smoking something, guys. Okay, so it's saying very easy. Okay, I got it. I got it. I was the one smoking something. Okay, here we go. We're at 12C27, 13C26, 14C28M. Now, when they say etc., they're talking about AEBL, or what was it? AEBL steel and what was that other steel we were talking about last week? I got a brain fart right now, guys. I'm sorry. What was it? Do you guys remember? I don't even remember now. Oh, N690. Yeah, N690. So N690 is very similar. Nitro V. Yes. Sorry. Yes, Fiend. Thank you. Fiend's the man. Fiend is the man. That's why he's a moderator. He's fucking good at this shit. One day, one of these days, Fiend, when we get real big, we're going to have a whole studio. You're going to be in here. We're going to have 2 computers set up, and we're going to be getting her the fuck done. Okay, so 6 out of 10 for sharpening, which if that's saying it's easy, then that, okay, because I would even give it 7 out of 10 if 7's good, because it is so easy to sharpen. 4 out of 10 for edge retention. All right, they can go fuck themselves. 4 out of 10 for edge retention. It should absolutely get a 5 out of 10. If not a 6. And we're going to go up really quick because I don't remember. I'll go back down, guys. Don't worry. I just want to see something. 5 out of 10 for N690. Okay. Let's go up. One more. Sorry. Where is it? D2. Okay. D2 got that. And LC200M. Got a 6 out of 10. What are we talking about? So they're off here. They're definitely off here. The 14C should be getting, what did I get, 3 out of 10? Even BD1 got 5 out of 10. 14C, you know, that it's 5 out of 10. It is. Toughness, 6 out of 10. That's definitely true. 14C is a tough steel, or tougher. It's above average. That's why I always say, man, it's a great, well-rounded steel for EDC. Now, the corrosion resistance, now I think they're out of line there too. They're out of line there. That should be at least a 5 out of 10, in my opinion. Obviously, this is all my opinion, but at least a 5 out of 10 for corrosion resistance. Yeah, like I said, this guy, remember, this guide is not going to be the best guide in the world, and I'm sure we can find other ones is way harder than 5. Absolutely, right. That's all right. Let's go down. Let's see what the next one is. Okay, so now look at this. Budget steels. They put 14C, 440, 12C, 7CR. They put 14C28N and 12C27 in the same fucking group as 440, OS8, CTS BD1, and HCR. That's why I don't trust this. Because now if you look when we scroll down, ATS 34 and AEBL. AEBL, they're like almost the same. This is a small list of steels that aren't necessarily in high production anymore, but still offer high-end or mid-range performance. But yet you're calling the other ones a budget. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so we're going to scroll up to the top. We're going to look at the other ones here in 1 second. I just want to see this. The knife steel charts. I'd like to see, to be honest, I would love to see the cut testers in the community make their own graph. Literally make a chart just like this. I would love to see that. What do we got? 154 cm. It's showing right there. The Samick. It's under. See, this is my opinion. Now, 154 cm in a cut test could beat possibly 14C by a little bit. But I think the number is negligible. I don't think you would give it a bigger score over it. I don't think it's above 10%. I think, and I could be way off on this, but I think I heard in order for them to say that a steel is better than another steel, not by this graph, but meaning like if they made a new steel and they said, oh, it's a new and improved steel, it has to have like a 10% difference or something like that. Excuse me. Okay, 20 CV was, we're just gonna go to the top because I want to see the diamond. I like seeing the diamond, but they're way off on a lot of these guys. All right, let's just go all the way to the top. It's easier. I know those you can kind of compare them side to side, but let me just grab the fucking thing. All right, so let's go all the way up to damn near the top. Okay, so here is you can see all the colors. Darkest one is S30V, and you can see how well-rounded S30V is. It is great, right? It's fucking fantastic. 3V is very close to S30V in edge retention. Or wait, is that the... I see a green one. Yeah, it is. And in ease of sharpening, but in toughness, it just smokes it. And then it's obviously not as corrosion resistant. Man, I got a phone going crazy over here, guys. I'm sorry for all the dinging. 154 cm is the peach. You can barely see it, but it's right under 3V. We'll just scroll down really quick. M390. So its ease of sharpening is 2 out of 10. Okay, whatever. I understand why they say this, right? I understand why M390 is tougher to sharpen than, say, HCR. Because HCR and like 14C, it sharpens up so good. But if you're going to give it, and you guys got to hear me out really quick. If you're going to give it this type of scores, right, then that means it has the best heat treat it could possibly have. Have 9 out of 10 edge retention for M390, then that means it got a perfect heat treat that M390 could get. And in that case, guys, M390 is easy to sharpen. The only time it's hard to sharpen is when it's never hard. I just mean when it's harder to sharpen is when it has a regular heat treat and it's softer. The better the heat treat, the easier it is to sharpen. And if you're using diamonds, all steels are easy to sharpen. All of them. I'm going to say it again. All steels are easy to sharpen with diamonds. The biggest factor when sharpening any steel, M390, Maximet, any steel, right, is the thickness behind the edge. That's it. Well, and also the heat treat, right? If it's soft, then it's going to be tough. But I'm saying with a good heat treat, if it's thick behind the edge, it's going to be tougher to sharpen because you got to remove so much more steel. If it's thin behind the edge, every steel is easy to sharpen. M390 with a good heat treat is just as easy as S30V. It is. I hate to break it to everybody, but it is. Even Maximet is easy to sharpen with diamonds, especially if it's thin behind the edge. Hold on a second. I want to see the 7 out of 10 for corrosion resistance. Yeah, M390 is very corrosion resistant. Okay, now this should be the exact same as M390, and I think it is. 7 out of 10. What was the toughness? I don't even remember. 6 out of 10. Okay, yeah. So it's the exact same. 20 CV should be the exact same. Edge retention. Exact same. And like I said, same thing goes for those guys. I don't need to repeat it again. M4. Corrosion resistance, none. Ease of sharpening, 3 out of 10. Edge retention, 9 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for toughness. Very tough steel, good edge retention. Okay, here's S90V. Ease of sharpening, 1 out of 10. So they're saying It's basically the hardest to sharpen. 9 out of 10 for edge retention, 3 out of 10 for toughness. It's not tough, is it? To be honest, I'll be honest, I never knew how tough S90V was. 5 out of 10 for corrosion resistance. I don't know why. I always thought S90V was more corrosion resistant than that. But then again, they were given fucking 14C a 4. So, and you know what? I bet, because I remember when Bird and Frankie rusted that knife out because they put it in a fucking tackle box or something while it was wet. And they called it the rusty steel for a long time. And I guarantee people were running around saying that shit when it was all their fault. You could do the same thing to just about any steel. Okay, CPM S110V, 1 out of 10 for sharpening. Now, this would be what I think most people would consider the toughest steel to sharpen as S110V. 10 out of 10 for edge retention. 2 out of 10 for toughness. It is not tough. 6 out of 10 for corrosion resistant. All right, we're almost done with this, guys. I don't know if there's any other steel you guys want to see, but I think that's about it. But you guys get the point. I do think, though, they are off a little bit. Poorly heat treated. Any steel is garbage. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just don't think that, like, when you look at the chart, right? Because everybody looking at that chart is from Blade HQ. So what they're doing is they're looking at a knife, right? Whatever knife it is. Did I see Nitro V on there? I didn't see Nitro V on there. Maybe there wasn't. I'm just not remembering. Anyways, my point is that when you go on there and then you see the steels, you're looking at a knife and you're saying, oh, this knife has 204P, right? So then you go over to the chart and say, oh, wow, this is 204P. And it's like, no, it's not. Not the 204P you're getting. You know, it's just like, you know, any poorly heat treated steel, yes. But what we're talking about is on average. So do you think that it's more likely that that chart is going to represent the steel you buy from Blade HQ or a steel you get from a custom heat treater, right? What do y'all think about the elusive M398? See, that's the steel that I know nothing about. I'm guessing it's similar to M390. It's just probably a little bit different in, I don't know, chromium or something. I have no idea. Vanadium or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the 0 stands for in M390. I gotta turn this down. This thing keeps dinging and it's pissing me off. Okay. I think most of us found out about S390 yesterday. Thanks, Pete. Yeah, me too. When I seen it pop up on my phone, oh man, I was honed in. It didn't matter what I was watching. The fucking world ended right then. And I went right to that. Like, what steel is this? I see the new Magna Cut. I don't know about it. I've heard about it. I've watched a little bit of testing, but I don't know anything about it. I haven't read enough about it. I'm guessing. Okay, so I guess my question is, and I don't know, is, okay, so, you know, coming from who it's coming from, yeah, it's going to be heat treated great. How hard is it going to be for a company to heat treat? I don't know. Maybe it's easy. Maybe that's how he made it, was to be easy. I have no idea. What do y'all... Alex says, what do you guys think of BGM blades? He heat treats good, apparently. So, I've only gotten to test his one heat treat, but from what I've seen, BGM, or from what I've tested, BGM so far is really good. But he's custom heat treating. So, that if you're wanting to feel what X steel feels like at its best, then you get a custom heat treat, get something from a custom knife maker. I never watched Talica. I never watched the cut test from Outpost 76, but I'll definitely watch it before my review because I definitely want to talk about how it went. did I just polish off a whole bag of Cheetos? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Wait, I don't know why this thing moves on me. Ash Small says, will we see big brands like Benchmade, Spyderco, and others ever use S390? I don't know. I think soon we're going to start seeing Magna Cut out there, though. I think, so for companies like that, Benchmade, Spyderco, etc., they have to be able to buy the steel for a reasonable deal, right? And be able to get enough of it. Otherwise, it doesn't mean shit. Now, I would say that they need to be able to heat treat it appropriately too, but we know that's not true. So I'm not going to pretend like that's even a fucking thing. Oh, Maximet and S9. Yes, Maximet and S90V are close, but their makeup is different a little. Okay. I was under the impression that they are very similar in their makeup, but Q1 Fiend said it, so it's a fact. Spyderco more likely than most, I would say. Yeah, I agree. Spyderco is more likely to use any new steel faster than other companies. They are good for that, and I appreciate that from Spyderco, because a lot of companies are scared to expand, right? And I know why. It's because they get good deals on big batches of steel, right? They buy a fucking ton of D2, ton of S35. When they run out of it, they run out of it. Then they might buy a new steel, or they just buy the same stuff, whatever. But they have to be able to get it for a good deal. And they also have to look at their overhead. How much does it cost to grind? Because with some of these steels, some of the reasons why they're also expensive, like one, the steel is expensive, but a lot of people don't put into consideration the belts that the companies go through grinding the steel. The harder it is, the more belts they're going to go through. So they have to put that into consideration. Benchmade 3V bailout was a joke. Yeah. Did Spartan Hersey come in S45? Yes. So you can get a Spartan Hersey, I believe now. Their newer ones are S45, I believe. Yes. I did see them at Blade Show. I didn't go to Blade Show, but I seen them on the screen. Why won't it link properly? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Ash. Hey, I randomly found out on Recon 1, which is where I bought my Quantum, but you can buy the new ZT0762 already, but on Blade HQ. It still says coming soon, so I don't know what to think. Huh. PM2, M4 Tonto, or M4? PM2, in my opinion. Okay, so I guess I should back up because I've never tried the bailout, so I can't speak on it. So I did try the PM2 Tonto. I thought it was really good. I like the hollow grind. I like the grind period. It has a good, useful technical blade shape. And the bailout in aluminum, the new one, is probably pretty good. I would imagine the Spyderco's heat treating their steel a little bit better than Benchmade. That's just me guessing. So I don't know. I know I thought that they fixed their heat treat on some of their steels a little bit, but I don't know. In addition to the main grind, the blade finishing is also gets more difficult on some of the wider steels. Yeah, absolutely. And then the sharpening, the grinding, all of it. You can now get the new ZT on GP knives as well. There you go. Knife Sergeant just said you can get it at GP knives as well. There is the 0762 for sale right now at NC Blade. Going to be finally ordering a 20 CV Delica from DLT Trading tomorrow. I'm super excited. Awesome. Good for you. I got a Delica coming right now. It's supposed to be here today. It'll probably be here tomorrow. Max Ace Goliath. All right. I really like the Talos, but it's kind of falling apart, so I'm getting a Deca from Hogue. Really? Huh. USA Made Blade has a new ZT2. Yeah, USA Made Blade is they're pretty good with the USA Made blades. Should have went with the K390 Delica. I agree. I agree. I love me some K390. Oh man, that wasn't on the chart either, was it? K390 is amazing. You just got to keep up with it. Like I always say with corrosion, similar to in my opinion, similar to like M4 and stuff like that. You ever look at a knife and just have an urge to fidget with it? All the time. All the time. I'll say this, guys. This new Kaiser horn, this thing is a fidget beast. The flipper tab works so good. It's super snappy, and the reverse flick is awesome. And you can take this flipper tab off right there in that hole with the T6. Just whomp, whomp, take it out, and no more flipper tab. And it's already pre-jimped underneath there. It's already got it jimping under there. So when you grab it right there, it's so nice in the hand after taking that flipper tab off. I hate waiting on the mail. It hurts my feelings. Yeah, I know what you mean. K390 and EDCI. Yes. Or 3-in-1 oil. Or just drying it off does a fucking shit ton. Just keeping it dry. Every time when you use it on anything wet or anything, just wipe it off. It's very easy. I second that the horn is great. Hey, what's up, bud? We got there it goes. We got Brian in here. Yeah, the horn is, man, the micarta is such good quality. Very good quality. And man, it is great. I love B. Wallace, his knife collection, because, and that's anything knife related. Sorry, I'm sitting here out in his name. But anything knife related is really good because he has high-end knives, mid-grade knives, and budget knives. He likes them all. He does not knife shame, and I'm the same way. And he likes a little bit of everything, and I love that. I love that about his collection and the way he collects. All beautiful knives from all walks of life. I love it. Also, sorry that I can't stop talking about only churros. I know that it fits. Ain't nobody annoyed us in Knife Channel. We like talking churros. Probably annoying that I'm a one-trick pony in terms of what I'm talking about. No, hell no. We love churros here. One thing that I love about the churros is their detent placement, except from the Quantum. The Quantum, man, they shit the bed on where they put the detent. That's the only problem with that knife. That knife is a 9 out of 10 and would be a 10 out of 10 if they put the damn detent ball a little earlier. They just messed up on the detent placement. Justin's getting the lightweight Spyderco's to flick easier. I got a lightweight right here in pink. Your favorite color. It is a backlock, but even for a backlock, it's still easy to flick. Scooter, you got your Jumbo if you got bigger hands. Yeah, the Yo Jumbo is a cool knife. Big. It's definitely big. It ain't small. It's a great knife. Especially if you like Warncliffs. Pink's Lacey's favorite color. Mine too, Lacey. Why is conjunction more important than cutting? Oh wait, I'm on the wrong page. I messed up, guys. All right. So I want to know from you guys, if I asked you, because I've heard this subject across the board the past week, if I said, yes, it does double clutch, Tyler. That's what I'm talking about. You get a lot of double clutch. I finally changed my YouTube name to match my Instagram name. It just seems more simple. Yeah, it is more simple too, because I'll tell you what, man, there's so many times I've been confused when I got a guy's name one here and then over somewhere else it's different. And then I'm talking to him and I don't even realize I'm talking to the same guy until they tell me. Sometimes I already know, but a lot of times you don't. So what knife? Hold on a second. Knife Sergeant says, I've noticed the closing action on the Quantum feels similar to the TS 301, except the Shuro's blade has a bit more weight. You talking about this, like this 301? This one's like, let me get rid of it. My TS 301 is stupid smooth. Right now I haven't flicked it in a little bit, but once I flick it a couple times, it is very smooth. The only thing that's different is that detent ball, because the Quantum, it's like the detent ball is right there. With the TS 301, it's right there. So it's nice and early. So it's always past that detent. But what knife? Listen to that sound. What knife would you guys consider that has soul? Name it. Name the knife. If you had to name 2 knives, 3 knives even, or just one, whatever. Name a knife. If I said, what's a knife to you that has soul? What knife has soul to you? I'm curious because I've heard this damn subject. Well, not the subject, but I heard the subject on Knife Junkie, and then I heard Lefty EDC say that certain knives don't have any soul. This Kubi has a good ting to it too. The Buck 110. Okay, I would say that has. Oh man, I don't even know if I guess you could say soul. Okay, I could see that. Buck 110. The Spider Monkey. Okay, I could see that. 0562 time. Say I could see that too. And I want to say one thing that I noticed across the board. Tucson was at Blade Show. What? What are we talking about? Oh man. That's awesome. I never knew they even made it to Blade Show. Now, I knew Tepe Designs. I knew that he had Tucson's on his table. I wasn't there because I'm not as lucky as you fucks. But I knew he had some on his table, but I thought they were all his designs. I didn't know he had just Tucson's at the table. That is badass. John L says the Yo Jimbo. Okay, now I want to say there's one thing I'm noticing across the board with everybody naming a knife that has soul. All USA made. I want to say, I agree. Some sort of handmade custom, I suppose. Yeah, I obviously. But if you were going to say a production knife, unless if you can't see a production knife as having soul, and I would totally respect that because I could understand that. But if it's going to be a production knife that has soul, if you could see that, in my opinion, like if I think of a knife that has soul, I don't even if, right? And I guess there's some circumstances where if, like, say if I said Fair and Forge, Demco, whoever, right? They make USA made knives. They had their knife made in China. And now, like, you love that designer, right? You feel a bond with that designer. Now you can finally get his design because you couldn't get it before because you can't afford his custom knives. I could see you saying that knife has soul because you finally get a chance at it. But really what you're saying is that their custom knives have soul, right? And this is the closest experience you could have to having some of that soul. Because to me, the only knives that are going to have soul, in my opinion, are going to be like like a Sabenza, a Hinderer, a Spartan, just USA made knives. That's my opinion. I can't look at a Reat or Tucson or something like that and say this has soul. I personally can't. Now, that's just my opinion. Like this to me, this has some soul, right? I love it. Now, I'll be honest, the Benchmade Griptilian to me doesn't really have much soul. It just doesn't. I love it. I love the Griptilian. I think it has what's the word for something that's been around for a long time? It has I don't know. It has something, just not quite soul in my opinion. But it does have something because it's been around for a long time. Whatever lives in your heart and makes you smile when it goes in your pocket every morning. Great answer, Will. Great answer. And anybody, like if anybody would have mentioned Riets or Tucson's or Kaisers, I am not saying they don't. Because to me, like Will said, whatever puts a smile on your face. Because I'll be honest, when I heard Lefty EDC said Tucson's didn't have any soul, a piece of my soul fell out. But I don't think it had anything to do with him saying Tucson's didn't have soul, because I kind of understood that. I think the part that broke from me was when he said that Riyadh had soul and Tucson didn't. And I'm thinking like, you know, I already said this before, like they could be made in the same factory for all you know, by the same fucking group of people. You know, I don't know. I'm just talking shit. But that's why I think of them as having soul, you know? Even if I talk to the people and everything else, I can't go to the factory. I can't go and experience them as a person and enjoy their company. Like maybe if they go to Blade Show or something, I could sit there and talk to them. That's one thing, I guess. You know, I guess you could. But I don't know. It's just different, you know, being from the same country and sharing the same homeland and experiences through battles and stuff. I don't fucking know. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. How can you not? If it's whatever puts a smile on your face, then the biggest of cold steel folders have the most, right? Then we got this damn thing coming out. Oh shit. This thing will hurt your finger coming down right there. Look at that. Look at that flipper tab. Bam. This thing's ridiculous. This thing is a beast, man. You want to fucking chop something. I'm gonna wind up putting, because I still haven't done it, but I'm gonna wind up putting a stupid sharp edge on this thing. I'm gonna lay back that grind so far. I'm gonna make this thing a laser. Watch. That will. Yeah. That's good, Scooter. You want to see a knife with some souls on it? This knife will take your soul. Hey, Jared, where were you going to announce your new channel and say, oh, yeah, so I haven't made it yet. Just brings me joy when I can say. So I am making a new channel. It has nothing to do with knives, and I don't want to confuse you guys because it is going to be not just a one-track thing, but it is though at the same time. So, it's gonna have to do with like, how can I say it to make it sound enjoyable, right? Because it's going to be fun. I'm going to try to have people on. I'm going to, especially once I hit 1,000 subs. So I will need your guys' help. Give me a sub at the very least, because I need to get 4,000 hours really quick so I can get monetized. But I'm definitely going to have people on, maybe to tell their own stories or to just talk, right? Whether it's a, sorry, my hip popped. I'm gonna talk about like, and there's gonna be a bunch of stuff. It's not just gonna be a one-track thing. So I don't want to. That's why I'm hesitating to say it, because I don't want people to automatically think that's what it's gonna be about. Because there's gonna be a wide range of things, right? From addiction, or should I say, like recovering from addiction, maybe recovering from anything, right? Whatever it is, you know, just basically about life, but on like growing better, right? With like whether it's your life's journey on fixing things, helping people fix their lives or fix their mental health or fix their addictions and get away from it and growing mentally, basically mental growth, right? Putting your mind in a right spot, whether it's through relationships, marriage, kids, like I said, mental health, addiction, maybe gambling addiction. It could be from gang violence. It could be from, maybe people that have been to, war, whatever, right? But a place for people to go to communicate and talk and tell their story, and listen to some of my stories, and just basically talk. And then also, like I said, also support in, like I said, like with family affairs, like relationships. And please don't fix that. I don't know what that means. Right. Yeah, knife addiction. But yeah, like there's a lot of people with very, 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 and trust me, I've seen it so much. And if I told you some of the stories I've seen with people with bad, or should I say unhealthy relationships, like that is probably going to be a lot of videos on people that are in poor relationships, bad relationships, whether married, girlfriend, maybe they have kids with some baby mama drama, stuff like that, like just, and what their behaviors did to maybe influence that, right? Or to encourage it, things like that. And like I said, just whatever, it's basically going to be about taking your whatever, right? Whatever the fuck it was, and moving on from there, and like steps to moving towards good mental, physical health, because that's another thing. Good physical health, good nutrition, things like that. Just basically trying to help people move towards a better part and helping them with the right steps and stuff like that. I enjoyed counseling some people, through, and it wasn't just through drug addiction, it was other things and lots of things, gang violence, blah, 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 family shit, whatever. But to help them move in a right path, right steps in order to succeed, right? And then there's going to be probably a lot of people, like I said, with like relationship problems, right? Like I couldn't tell you how many guys and girls make the most horrible decisions in a relationship that some people, right, would think, well, it's common sense you don't do that, or it's common sense you should do that, right? And a lot of people don't know their place in a relationship and what they're supposed to do. And it winds up leading to a very fucking toxic relationship. And I've seen some of the most craziest shit from partners, right? People that are supposed to be partners are battling, and just like it becomes, I hate using the word toxic, but you understand what I mean when I say it. But it winds up becoming a word that everybody's using about every damn relationship. But you guys understand it. And like toxic to me is, fighting in front of the kids and calling each other names, and, using violence and trying to use manipulation to get at each other and going through each other's shit and just like weird shit like that. But anyways, lots of different things like that. And I'm going to be making the channel very soon. I'm hoping it's going to blow up. I've seen similar channels that have blown up pretty fast that recently started. Like I know one channel that it's not specifically about what I'm talking about, but it has something to do with what I'm talking about. And in the same time I grew this channel, they're at 60,000 subs. So, but yeah, dysfunctional, right? And some people are just from dysfunctional homes, right? And they don't know, right? I know so many people, especially guys, right, and girls, that came from a dysfunctional family, and they don't know the they don't have a clue on what a good, healthy family looks like. And I mean that from like how they treat their kids, how they treat their spouse, how they treat, themselves, right? And I think that it's a good way to get a channel to help people, right, make healthier decisions for themselves and to grow. And I think this this has nothing to do with politics, right? Nothing to do with politics. But I think our country needs a little help, right? And I mean that from every fucking corner and avenue, as for places to go to grow, right? To grow healthier mentally, physically, emotionally. They need places they can go that encourage good behavior that keeps them in line from one day to the next, to listen to, that helps encourage them to move down a right path. I know, like on the beginning of my journey, I was listening to all kinds of that shit, because just because you know what to do doesn't mean that you don't like to listen to it. You know, I kind of believe, in my own opinion, that whatever you want to make, right? Whatever it is, if you like, let's say you want to get fit, right? Well, then you should be listening and watching a lot of fitness stuff constantly in your ear about nutrition, about exercise, about this and that, because what surrounds you is what you do. Right? You're more likely to do the stuff if it surrounds you. So same thing with good behaviors and things like that. But if you have somebody constantly talking to you, encouraging good behaviors, and constantly saying the same thing over and over and over, that is really good advice, you're more likely to do it than if you don't do it and all you're watching and listening to is things that are actually negative. Right? You're more likely to do good behaviors if that's what's surrounding you rather than the negative things. Story time. Is it story time? Almost. We have 4 minutes. Fuck that. I did want to talk about one thing really quick. Okay, we're going to go to story time really quick. I want to tell this other thing. Jared White says, I've been through all of it: dysfunctional childhood, drug, alcohol addiction, toxic relationships, over 2 years in October. Took a while to refine myself, happiness besides in the bottom of a bottle. I know exactly what you mean, Jared, and thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. It takes a lot to say that, you know, in those things. Premature as normal, right? Support, compassion, kindness, accountability, responsibility, respect, all lacking. So anyways, our country is lacking all of that shit massively. So I think it's good for channels like that to pop up and help people, you know. So 2 things really quick I want to talk about. One thing. And okay, so there's other channels that are in here, right? And I want to say it specifically to them, but everybody else can kind of listen because it'll give them a good idea, right? Or a good thought, like behind the scenes kind of. So pass around groups, right? So I want to say pass around groups, beware. Now, I think there's amazing pass around groups. The community is lucky to have pass around groups. You know, I honestly believe that. I'm involved in 1 technically, 2 kinda. Yesterday, I did agree to 1 that I'm being a part of right now, at least for 1 knife. I'm probably going to back out of it after the first knife. Now, why? Why would I back out of a pass around group? So my opinions on, sorry guys, this damn thing won't focus. So my opinions on pass around groups is sometimes some of the knife companies can take advantage of some of the knife reviewers through a pass around group. And what I think about that is that basically, like, you have X amount of channels, right? They all put their work in and make a video on a knife that they get passed to them, then they have to spend money on to send away. So now they put work in. Yeah, they get the review on the channel. Are they going to make any money off of it? No, they're not. They're going to expose that knife to the community. Yes, they like to review knives. Yes, they get the knife in their hands. But the money that they're going to make off of ad revenue or whatever isn't going to justify what that company is going to get. So, in my opinion, that the company should be able to just give that knife to that reviewer. Now, obviously, if we're talking about a channel that gets 10 views, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like channels with 1,000 subscribers or more, right? You're monetized. That's the point. If you're a monetized channel, then a company giving you the knife, that gives you the opportunity to sell it, trade it, pass it to other reviewers, or keep it for multiple videos, right? So you're not just getting one video that you'll get $5 from, right? If I looked at some of my revenue, guys, and you guys see some of the revenues, each video I get a couple dollars from ad revenue. Like, people think like you get 5,000 views and you got $100. That's not the way it works. That's a few dollars. That's what that is. So if I do that so many times and knife companies are getting all this exposure for their knife, they're taking advantage of the knife reviewers, in my humble opinion. I still believe that the pass around groups are amazing. I think we need them. I love that. I think it's great for a lot of channels. But in my opinion, I don't like the two that I'm involved in are very small pass around groups. One of them, there's 5 people. The other one, I think there's like 7. And I'm probably not going to stick around in the other one. And I don't want to, because that same company, right? The same company that sends a knife through that pass around group would be the same company that would give me that knife otherwise, because they want their knife on my channel, right? And I'm not trying to talk all big or nothing. It's just business. But they're not going to do that if they can just send it to the pass around group, right? So I would, instead of having them give me the knife that I can now give to one of you guys, or use in 20 videos, right? So now I actually make something from the knife and it actually is beneficial to me instead of just them, right? I wouldn't get that. I'd have to take it and then spend money to send it. So now I literally spent the money that I made on my channel to do them a favor. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So for knife channels, I'm just saying, pass around group beware, because that same company that wants that knife on your channel will send it to you personally if you're not in a pass around group. If you're in a pass around group already, they don't have to, right? They don't have to. They just send it to the pass around group. It goes to 20 people, however many people are in the pass around group. They've literally gotten exposure across the board. And, yeah, I think one person might get the knife at the end, if they let you keep it. But when you're doing it, and you're not in a pass around group, they're more likely to send it to you and just tell you to keep it. Well, they have to tell you to keep it. They just send it to you because they want you to test it, and they want it on your channel. But if they want it on your channel, well, then they should have to donate the knife, because the point is you can use it now across the board. You can get 30 videos out of it or whatever. So that's all I'm saying. So just small channels, I'm not saying don't get involved in a pass around group. If it's the best thing you can do and you have the money to constantly mail out knives and stuff, then do it. If you think that'll benefit you. But also just know that that same company is not going to call you now and ask to send you a knife, because they don't have to. That's all I'm saying. They don't have to if you're already in a pass around group that their knives come from. So next thing. So I was talking about earlier about the money thing. I'm kind of happy I did not. I'm going to be doing a knife sale soon, right? So originally I was thinking about doing a knife sale because I wanted to recycle it with knives, right? And I'm probably not going to be able to now. So just getting a little personal here. I know you guys don't care about my personal life, but just recently I had my teeth worked on, right? And it's kind of like, how can I say this? Everybody's going to have to pay karma debt, right? You have a karma debt in your life. The karma that you've done in your past will pay. You're going to pay for it one way or another eventually, right? Well, I have fucking so much karma debt backed up that I'll be paying till I die. So, me growing up, I never had dental insurance growing up. Never had it. Not once. I actually did have it for about 10 minutes one time. I'll tell it. That'll be one of the stories. So, my teeth, I always had problems with my teeth growing up because the only time I'd go to the dentist was when I needed something pulled, right? So I've had teeth problems since I was a kid. And so I recently got my fronts all fixed up and done. And one of them yesterday or day before broke loose, right? And it's a crown or whatever. Well, when I went in, the dentist basically told me that there was nothing he could do with, like, basically all my teeth in the front were gonna fucking get fucked if I didn't get an implant, which costs like almost $3,000 basically. So I have no choice now but to get an implant or basically lose all my fronts, because the fronts that were just done can't handle the abuse that they're going to take without an implant. And in order for me to get a bridge and all this other shit, I need an implant to hold my teeth. I don't have very many back teeth, right? So just something a little personal for you guys. And it sucks. It fucking sucks. But I don't have a choice. So right now, I worked out a deal with him for me to pay, like, and I have to have it, I'm getting it done by like the 25th. So it's a lot of money, right? So I'm basically going to have to probably do a knife sale and do a few other things in order to cover this by the 25th. Even if I have the money right now, like it's all the money we got right now. So it just is what it is. So I was originally going to do a knife sale in order to buy more knives to recycle for the channel, but it looks like I'm probably just going to have to do it to pay for this damn tooth, which it is what it is. It's life. Like I said, it's basically karma debt, right? My karma is I didn't get to go to the dentist growing up. So now karma's coming back to bite me, and you know, I got to pay for my teeth now. But you think they do. You think they do, Brandon. Let me tell you, you think so. Right now, the fronts do because they're all just recently fixed. But I don't have any bottom teeth. None. I mean, I got my fronts, but I have nothing to eat with. That's why they'll fall out if I don't get this done, because I only chew with my fronts. And so I'm trying to get some bone grafts done and everything. Anyways, enough with that shit. But when I was a kid, the first time I did have insurance, they said I needed braces, so got braces. And the insurance was supposed to pay for half of it. And this is story time. Okay, this is story time. So, let me take a sip. I don't remember. I was like 12 or 13. Wound up going to the dentist, and the insurance paid for half, and then we were gonna have to pay half out of pocket. And they paying half out of pocket was basically getting it on. Well, the check came after I got the braces on, right? Got the braces on, so now I have braces because I had an overbite. Sorry guys, this camera keeps unfocusing. After getting the braces on, the insurance check supposedly came. I know what happened, right, with the insurance money, but the insurance money didn't go to my teeth, right? They didn't go to my teeth, and there was nothing I could do. It got spent, all right? My mom, she tried to figure it out. She called. They said the insurance money, like it was spent, like it was cashed in or whatever, however the fuck it happened. It did happen, but it didn't go to my teeth. So now we didn't have the money to keep going into my braces. So I was fucked. So for 2 years, I walked around with braces that didn't do anything. They just sat there. They never got tightened. I never went back. I went back one time. Never went back again. So I got the braces on, and that was it. So now I'm walking around with braces for 2 years, never doing nothing. Not a damn thing. Nothing. I didn't even have none on my bottoms, just my tops. Well, now they start cracking and breaking. I said, fuck it. I got some pliers, fucking cut that wire, pulled the wire out, and I started fucking ripping them motherfuckers off with some pliers. So I wound up fucking becoming a dentist at 14. Oh, it was pretty brutal. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but at the time, you know, like 14, looking at, you know, because like, you know how braces are as a kid, you know, like they make you insecure, they fucking suck. You know, making out with girls, fucking, you know, like it's a big deal, especially with your, hey, Will, you didn't have to do. Thank you, man. Paying karma forward, half of this one saving for a full rack. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Hey, John, thank you. You guys don't do that. You guys are gonna make me feel bad. Seriously. Don't do that. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate it. But ripping them out though, it did hurt, but I got the back. There's like a band when you guys have braces. There's like a band that goes around the back tooth. That's how the wire hangs on. I couldn't cut that off. No matter how much I tried, and I tried ripping it off. I tried all kinds of shit. I really appreciate you guys' donation, but please don't make me feel bad tonight. But I couldn't rip those off. And so then I had the bands on for a long time. There was nothing I could do. I tried cutting them off. I tried prying them off. It just hurt too bad. So I wound up wearing those for years. And then they wound up getting cut off by a dentist later in life. Hey, Spanky, thank you, man. Get the grill. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it, really. Seriously. Thank you. What was the other story I was going to tell? I don't even remember now. I don't even think I wrote it down. Did I write it down? Man, you know what? You guys don't even know. I had a whole roast ready for Metal Complex. Hey, Cue Ball. Thank you, man. What was it? Cue Ball. I love it. Cue Ball. Awesome name. Toothy Fairy Fun. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Cue Ball. That's a badass name. I seriously wrote down an entire roast for Metal Complex. I think it was pretty good too. I should tell you guys the roast but then I can't do it to him if he ever comes in my live, because I told him, I said, I dare you to come in. Well, I didn't say it to him, but in the video. Hey, man, you guys are awesome, man. Thank you guys so much. So you guys seriously don't have to donate. I really appreciate it, though. Thank you. Tyler, thank you so much. Mark, you're awesome, man. You're always helping out. I appreciate it. All you guys. Thank you. And, man, you guys aren't going to stop now. I should have never told that fucking story, man. I shouldn't have done it. Thank you. What is it? Knife consumer? Grill fun. I appreciate it, and you guys are amazing, and it is gonna help a lot. Thank you. But I really don't like this. Makes me feel bad already. You guys are gonna make me cry and shit. Don't do that. Where has Breeze been? Breeze was in here a little bit ago. He was in here. Wallaby's sick. He don't feel good. So you told the truth. MC will call in here sometime. Best to hold down. I got the ammo ready. I wrote down some good ones too. I can't wait. And I hope you guys know it's all out of love. Like, it's just, I'm just fucking with them, but I got some pretty good ones, I think. Just a couple. I think there's like out of 10, there's 3. I think, in my opinion, they'd make me laugh if I heard somebody say it to them. Russ, man, thank you, man. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you. But I do mean that though, like about the karma debt, man. Everybody pays karma debt. You might not pay it today or tomorrow, but you're gonna pay it eventually. Karma never forgets, ever. So, and that's why I know I got a long list. But you know what though? It is what it is. And you know, I'll be waiting when karma comes. And it will. Everyone who wants to support the channel through Patreon. Oh, thank you, Fiend. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. If you guys ever want to donate through the Patreon, we have a giveaway. You know what? Oh, also to the Patreons, I should have said this. I meant to make a Patreon video today, but I was dealing with that earlier. So I had to make like an emergency appointment or whatever. So I didn't get to make it today, but I'm gonna make it probably this weekend. Because I have to work tomorrow and everything, and I'm gonna make it because I got that video done. I'm ready for the giveaway. Everything's ready. I just gotta make the video and pull the names. So just so you guys know, but I have to make a quick video beforehand to make sure everybody knows to comment on the YouTube video, because the Patreon video is in Patreon, but it also shows up on YouTube. You want to make sure your comment ends up on YouTube. Only you guys can see it. So it's not like everybody's commenting on it. It's only the Patreons commenting on it. I just want to make sure you guys know that. It was actually Lacey who helped me with that. My mailbox is empty and waiting. There you go. There you go. And man, there's some awesome giveaways, and there's some awesome giveaways still coming up too. I know I'm gonna do a knife sale, but I'm gonna make sure I hang on to enough stuff. I always like to make sure I have stuff prepared for like the next few months of giveaways for the Patreons, because the Patreons, that giveaway, I love doing that for the Patreons. Like, I think that's awesome because a lot of the patrons are my friends, right? And it's like, so that's awesome to me to be able to stay in communication and, you know, talk to my friends, you know, and give back to them for all the support on the channel. Hey, Brent, thank you, man. Screw it. I don't want to see him. Don't fucking do that shit. Stop. You guys almost had me a little bit ago when I started seeing the donations come through. So I had to start thinking about boats and hoes. So don't do that. Don't do that. Thank you, man. Ding, ding, ding. Joker Demco is mine. Man, the fucking Demco with a regrind is going to be sweet. Have you guys seen any of the Demco 8020s with the regrinds? I seen some of the custom ones that you know, we'll tell another story. We'll tell one more story before we go. That's a good idea. There was something I wanted. Oh yeah, we were going to talk about well-rounded knives. I forgot about that. I always forget about the title of the video, but we'll just save that for next time. Jared, I have some Tucson's on their way. I'd love to loan for review if some of them are new. Yeah, definitely. Just get a hold of me on Instagram or through email. The info's always in the description. If it's not in the description of this video, it'll be in the description after this loads. But you can go to any one of the other videos and you'll find all the information to get a hold of me. I just got a shit ton of Tucson's in from Ed, but let me know which ones they are, and I'm always wanting to check out Tucson's. Yeah, Jimmy Slash, yeah, he got a custom titanium version. Doesn't that have a hollow grind? I'm pretty sure. Wait, am I wrong about that? No, he got the red one. He got the first one ever made, I believe, that does have a hollow grind. I'm pretty sure. Hello to Russia. What's up, Russia? There we go. What's up, Russia? Salute. Okay, so one more story. What should I tell? I don't know if I should tell something crazy, something stupid, something funny. Yes. Name something. Name a type of story, and I'll come up with one. Because sometimes I feel like I get a little too crazy, and people probably think I'm fucking nuts. Bat Masterson? I don't even know what that means. The Ninja Pinta Santa Maria. I'll do you in the finish. Oh shit, that's a song. Oh yeah, the boats and hoes, right? Boats and hoes. That's what it was. I forgot I said that. Oh, I got to handle a new Tucson button lock. Oh man, that is so awesome. It has a dual grind. I've only seen one other Tucson with a hollow grind, And I never seen it like personally, but I seen one, right? But that looks pretty awesome. I'm happy to see that they can do hollow grinds. I don't know why they don't do more, because they have a dual grind, which is a hollow and a flat on that button lock. And if B Wallace is saying it's fire, anything knife related, if he's saying it's fire, then it's fire. Q1 Fiend says something funny. Michael says dog training. Okay, let's wonder if we have a funny dog training story. I got so many dog training stories. I don't know if like it's an actual story though, because it'd just be like telling dog training. If you guys ever have issues with dogs, you guys can always ask and I'll tell you how to fix it. But funny story. Yeah, it's a funny movie. Step Brothers, nursing home, the nursing home. Okay. All right. So I guess that can be considered funny. So I need all of you guys to understand the humor in this. Okay. So the reason why I didn't tell it the one day is because I understand how disrespectful it can sound. And I want you guys to know how much love I had for these people, right? I had a lot of love for these people because I was taking care of them, right? Like it was my job to make sure they were safe. So I cared for all of these people. So me talking about them, it's out of love, right? So I don't want anybody to think that I'm being disrespectful to somebody's grandparent or anything like that. It's nothing but love. And you know, I felt a connection with a lot of them, but I had to take care of, and I did this for 2 years after my dad got hurt. I thought it was good. One, I was close to where my dad lived by working in a nursing home, and it helped me learn more about healthcare, right? And taking care of people and taking care of him. It's a whole nother battlefield. I can tell you guys some fucking stories about taking care of my dad. My dad was crazy as shit. So taking care of him was, you could never compare it to taking care of anybody. You're talking about very crazy. We'll save a story from that later. Right now, I was working in the nursing home. I did it for 2 years, basically to get a better idea on healthcare. My sister was working there. I knew a lot of people that worked there. And my main job there was working in the Alzheimer and dementia unit. Because I'm a guy, all right, stronger, because there was like a room and we'd have like say 30 people, right? Anywhere between 15 and 30 people. And we got to make sure they stay in this room. Now, mind you, there's all different ages of dementia that's in there. So you could have a lady who can't walk, who's not trouble to nobody. And then you could have some that can walk, talk, remember, and manipulate you. Like you would think that they shouldn't be there because they're so functional, right? The problem is that they don't know, right? So if they think they left their keys in the car out in the parking lot, they truly believe their car's in the parking lot and they left their keys out there. And they will fight you to the death to make sure, because they're lying, right? They know you're lying. You have to be lying because they know their fucking car's outside. And I'm sorry to hear that, Cue Ball. I'm sorry to hear that. It is not fun. It's not fun. But the story I'm trying to tell right now, I want you guys to see, not humor in it, but the humor in loving the people, right? And taking care of them and the frustrations with dealing with it, right? Because like I could walk in the room, walk out and go in a circle and come back in, and I'm a different person, right? Completely different person. Now, there's stories between everybody. So I had this one couple, right? What happened if someone tried to escape? It happened every day, all day. That's all they're trying to do is escape. Every day, all day. That's all they're trying to do. Half of them, at least. So we would have to coerce them back. So like you have different levels. So it just depends on how tough they are, I guess. Now, certain people you could just basically manipulate them back, like just talk to them. But some people, you're in a fight, right? Not meaning you're fighting them, but they're fighting you, and you can't touch them or hurt them or anything. I mean, you can touch them, but you can't hurt them. So you're just gonna have to do what you gotta do to get them back in the room. Some of them have alarms, but some of them are smart enough where they find them. Meaning, like we hide them in their shoes, hide them in their jackets, we hide them in their clothes, so that if they find the one in their shoe, they don't find the one in their jacket, right? So we hide them in different places so that because they'll find them. They'll find, like, there's some of them are damn smart, and they'll either just find it randomly or they'll mean to find it. Which we've had them escape going all the way down the street. We had one that made it all the way to his bar, his own bar that he used to go to 15 years ago. He literally made it out, hitchhiked all the way to the bar, and crazy, right? We have so many different stories from people escaping, and it's not often that they escape because you're usually pretty good. There is an alarm system goes off if they get out the door. If they got out the door, that thing makes an alarm. Anyway, so we had this one couple, and husband and wife, right? Husband and wife. The wife has got dementia. The husband slightly does, but not really, right? But they stay in the same hall. They stay in the same everything, not necessarily in the same room because she doesn't understand. She does not understand. Well, every time you turned your back, you know what he was trying to do. He's trying to get it in, So literally, if you fucking turned your back for a second, you would hear her because she doesn't understand what's going on. So she's talking to him, and you'll turn around and he's got her bent over the table, just trying to get it in. And it makes you feel so bad. And this guy's 6'5", big dude, giant dude. And he'd get so mad because you'd be like, you can't do that. And he'd be like, this is my wife. And you feel bad because it is his fucking wife, right? Who am I to say he can't fuck his wife? But she doesn't get it, right? She doesn't understand. So you can't let him do that. And he's gonna do it, And every day, all day, it was a battle. And I felt bad. And one time, he made it to the room. So he got her, right? Walked her over to another room. Well, when I walked past, I looked, I seen inside the room, he had her on the bed and he was trying to get it in. And I thought for a second, like I was like, fuck it. They're married, right? Who am I? Then the nurse figured it out and seen what was going on. She started screaming at me to stop them, and this and that. And I got in trouble for not allowing it, but not stopping it faster than I could have. And I, now thinking about it, I shouldn't. And he never got nowhere with it. But the point is, though, is that I almost let him, right? Because it's his wife. But he's a big motherfucker, and she's little, and she's like 4 years old mentally. So, and she was past the point of understanding anything. She could talk, but anything she said didn't make sense. So, and one time I had this lady. So I got this new lady, right? She comes, sits down, right? I'm sitting in my room, I'm watching everybody, making sure everybody's fine, nothing's happening. And this lady gets up and walks off. This lady, she's like 50, right? She's in her prime, right? She's not old. She's not old at all. And she's not physically fit, but she's a bigger lady, but she could fuck you up, right? Like she could handle herself. She moved just fine. You never would have thought she lived in a nursing home. Well, she gets up and walks off, and then the nurse goes, "Go get your patient," right? And I look and I said, "Who?" Right? And she's like, "That woman right there." And I just got done talking to the lady, so I know how sane the lady is. The lady seems like she's all there, and I'm like, she's not a patient. She just got done telling me, her car, Her car's outside, right? Her car's outside. No, she was my new patient. She's just borderline. So she's not, there's like, there's a scale, right? She was at the beginning of the scale. So meaning she could talk the shit, walk the talk, do everything. But she also got confused. So now I got to go get this lady who understands very well and try to get her back. And she ain't falling for nothing. Nothing. Like she's not dumb. She's smart as she can be. And since she's so fit, it's hard to deal with somebody like that because she can actually punch you. She can actually hurt you. She can actually do things to you. I seen one guy jump out of a wheelchair. Well, supposedly he had killed people already. And he used to tell people that. Like, he'd literally tell you like that he killed people and stuff. Supposedly he was in war and all kinds of stuff. And he jumped out of his chair and punched a dude so hard that he went through the glass door. And it was one of the nurses. So that just goes to show how strong some of these guys are. There was another guy who was a I don't remember if he was an bricklayer. He was a bricklayer. My grandpa was a bricklayer. And this guy was a bricklayer. And now he had a stroke. So half of his body doesn't work, right? Straight down the middle. One half, no, nothing. The other half, everything. So he used a wheelchair, but the guy's strong as an ox. I mean, strong as an ox. And you had to leave him alone. You couldn't do anything with him. And what I mean is that as long as you left him alone, he would play everything cool, right? Never a problem. If you break that routine, right? Like his chair, right? One time a lady sat in his chair. He jumped out of his wheelchair and just starts fucking pounding on her. And he's strong as hell. He's the type of guy, like, he looks old. And then the second he grabs your wrist, you realize you just fucked up because he's that strong. And so, like, you knew better than to break his routine, whatever it is. Whether it's his food, his drinks, his path, his anything, you stay out of his way. Just let him be. All right, leave him alone. He'll do everything he's supposed to do. Just don't mess up his routine. And he couldn't talk because because of the stroke. So yeah, and so that was he was pretty crazy. Seeing a lady go round and get money from other I've seen that too. Money from other residents. Hop in a cab hours away and buy a puppy. Got there, got the puppy, couldn't remember how to get home. Owner of the home had to pick her up. Oh man. See, I've seen this one lady. And I know I'm getting nasty now, guys, but she would steal fruit from the kitchen and bring them back to her bedroom. You know what I mean? There was another lady. She would get caught constantly trying to do things with the other patients. So some of the other patients don't know any better. She barely knows any better. And I mean, don't know any better. Like, they can talk to you just fine. Right? Some of them can have a full-blown conversation with you, not skip a beat, but they really don't understand. They have not a clue. Like I said, you can be a different person every 5 minutes. But so she would go and try to like mess with the guys in their rooms and shit, like crazy. Like, it was nuts. But I did, like I said, I loved them all. And I knew them all so personally that I felt very, very protective over them. And one time this dude, and I don't want anybody to ever think, because like the nursing home I was in, so out of all the nursing homes in the area, it was the best one. I mean, the best one, the cleanest, most sanitary, most taken care of, most everything. I never been to a nursing home that was that good, in my opinion. I've been to a bunch of them that were not, like, where basically everything is government funded programs and stuff, where they're it's not that they're taken care of bad, it's just that the facilities don't have the funding. But this place did, though. This place was nice, for a nursing home, the one I was in. This guy, though, right? This guy, I caught him not hurting, right? Not I don't want anybody to think the worst of this, but my temper kicked in, and he grabbed this person and in the chair, right? Like just grabbed him by the shoulders, and the person kept trying to like stand up, and he grabbed him by the shoulders and kept yanking him down into the chair and did it really aggressively. I walked up behind him, I snatched him behind the neck, and I lifted him up off the ground and started fucking choking him out. And I wound up going and saying, I never snitch on nobody. I'm not a snitch. I'm not a rat, but you're fucking hurting old people and fucking snitching on you, bro. So I went and told my fucking, really didn't snitch because of that. I snitched because I knew what I just did. So it was like, I just went and told my, my boss basically what I just did. You know, I told her I fucking snatched the dude up by the neck and started choking him because of what he did. And neither one of us wound up losing our jobs or anything, which he just basically after that was like watched like really closely, because in all honesty, he really didn't do something wrong. It was the way he did it, because what he did, he was allowed to do, but it was the way he did it. I didn't like how aggressive he was with his hands. I just didn't like it. Right. And I guess my protective instinct just kicked in for the person, and you know, and I snatched him up. But I guarantee he didn't do that shit in front of me no more. I don't think in front of anybody. And I don't think it was honestly like, you people say, you find one rat, there's 1,000 of them, you know. I don't doubt he wasn't being a snake, but I don't think it was like a typical thing. I think he was just that aggravated. And sometimes you have one of those days, right? Dealing with it, all day long, every single day. And maybe he was having a bad day, but either way, he wound up having a real fucking bad day at the end of that day. 100 likes, really? That's sweet. Holy shit. Hit the big 100 with only 71 people watching. What a good ratio. You know what? I think, what time is it? 9:37. All right, we're going to get out of here. I know you guys got to get out of here too. I love you guys. I appreciate all the donations, guys. You guys are awesome. And I appreciate you guys sitting here spending time with me and hanging out. When I do start that new channel, I will make sure I announce it and let you guys know, because I'm hoping that I at least get some of you guys' subs to help me to get to 1,000 so that I can get monetized, so that I can get YouTube to start pushing the channel. But it'll be hard to get YouTube to push the channel until I get 4,000 hours of watch time or 1,000 subs. That's how it goes. 1,000 subs or 4,000 hours. Is it hours? I think it's out. Yeah, I think it's hours. 4,000 hours of watch time. So once I get that, I can get monetized. So hopefully I start that very soon. I love you guys, and thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you guys for everything. Peace. Thank you, Spanky. Cheers to you. Did it end? Doesn't look like it ended. Am I still here? No, it didn't end. I'm trying to end it. Oh, thank you, Fiend. Thank you for